Hello everybody, I'm Chris Williams, welcome to my video blog. I'm going to be on the telly. Well, depending on if the cameraman spots me. I've purchased a ticket for the Wales vs Bulgaria football match, which is being held here in Cardiff on October the 8th. Yeah, it is October the 8th. Yeah, Friday, October the 8th, 2010. And obviously it's down to ticket availability, but the ticket I have purchased is behind the dugout. So fingers crossed I'm going to be sitting behind the Welsh substitutes, and it will be quite nice if the TV cameras pick me up. £25 for the ticket, plus £1 handling fee. I remember the first football match I went to last year, Wales versus Russia, in the World Cup qualifiers. That only cost £7, but they had the special promotional offer on at the time. Okay. Someone, my new friend on YouTube, hello, has asked me to speak about whether or not people with Asperger's syndrome and autism are eligible for financial assistance here in the UK. I know in America, well, I'm not American of course, so I might be wrong on this, but I think in America you are entitled to some support which you then get when you have your high school assessment for your needs. I don't know about adults, but in terms of adults here in the UK, disability living allowance, I filled out a form for that, and there are two parts to it, to do with your physical capabilities and your mental capabilities. Now, I don't have problems walking, I don't have problems with my eyesight. Honest, I don't have problems with my eyesight, but you know what I mean, that you only get money if you're blind. If you've got glasses, your eyes are okay, they say. I got no problem with my hearing. I say I've got no problem with my hearing. So in general, nothing wrong with me medically. So I couldn't fill out the first part of the form. Although, there's a caveat. If you suffer from incontinence on your rhesus, as it's called, then you do qualify, it's my understanding, because then you can get money for special incontinence aids. Now, I could speak a bit about incontinence, but no, that's in my past. No, I've been okay for the last 15 or so years. But hey, I don't want anyone who knows me watching this video, but that'll be quite embarrassing. But 27 minus 15 equals comprehensive school age. But yeah, had it, I could either been diagnosed with Asperger's back then, actually, but that is one of the traits of Asperger's. When you're assessed for Asperger's, and they say, do you do this, and I say, yes, you got Asperger's. Well, I could have been diagnosed when I was 12, but hey, I digress. So yes, nothing wrong with me medically, so I don't qualify for disability living allowance from the medical point of view. And then on to whether or not depression affects my day-to-day living. Now, of course, it's tenuous as to whether depression affects your day-to-day living. What they mean is, no, are you so depressed you can't put your clothes on? Are you so depressed that you don't speak? Do you lose track of what the day is? That sort of thing. And of course, as you know from watching my video blogs, that is not true. Someone was trying to take legal action against me, against my Asperger's syndrome behaviour. Well, I think that's quite disgusting, but as my solicitor says, I am lucid. Although he reckons that I don't particularly understand the legal proceedings that have been taken against me, so he thinks the case will fall apart, largely because it's a case of discrimination against me. Now, I cannot be held legally responsible for my autistic behaviour, because the fact of the matter is that autistic behaviour shows that I'm not doing my behaviour deliberately. But it's all full of legal jargon, so for all I know, the solicitor could be wrong and I might lose the case and that sort of thing. But hopefully that's not going to happen. I'm fairly positive that I'll be having some of this going into this. But we wait to see. And yes, you are right. When I said some of this, I mean £5. Imagine a court awarded me £5 compensation for distress caused to me. Because getting back to whether or not you can qualify for benefit if you have Asperger's syndrome, in my case, I can't qualify for disability living allowance. I don't get any money, let alone £5. So that's disability living allowance ruled out. But what money can someone with Asperger's syndrome get? Of course, autism is a spectrum. It's all dependent on individual needs. But for my own personal circumstances, I am funded for my own independent living with job seekers allowance and housing benefit. Now, Asperger's syndrome means I'm very unlikely to be getting a job anytime soon, if at all. So, job seekers allowance is a kind of safety net for my living. Of course, people at the National Autistic Society have something called Prospects, which helps to get people into it, because they've only got a few offices of that, so not many people benefit from that. So it's fair to say the majority of unemployed people, or the majority of people with autistic spectrum disorders are unemployed, and the only money they can get is job seekers allowance, in addition to housing benefit. And of course, with regards to housing benefit, if you're autistic, you tend to choose to be isolated from the world. You want to be on your own a lot. And definitely in this accommodation here, I share it with 30 other people. We've got individual bedrooms. I feel much happier here, I think it's fair to say, compared to in the family home. I have the freedom to do what I want. It's like being locked in my bedroom at home where my family live, but here I don't see my family. I don't even think about my family. I'm free to live however I like. And I suppose that my autistic spectrum disorder means that I fit I'm able to cope with this. Although I don't like uncertainty and I don't like changes in my environment. Like if someone were to come along and clap their hands and say, "Right, Mr. Williams, tomorrow you will be expected to work in a call center, a loud establishment with loads of people," I'd be quite scared about that. But I'd be going from on my own where I'm happy to being in a noisy room full of complete strangers that I won't enjoy at all. I won't enjoy working with the people, and I won't enjoy doing the job. And indeed, I'd be sacked immediately. And of course, they wouldn't take me on in the first place, actually, because I'd have to declare them that I have Asperger's syndrome. Now then say, that means I'm unsuitable for that type of work, because even then, that's discrimination. Indeed, talking about discrimination, I have a book here on discrimination, which I will be blogging about at a later time, but I think I won't have time on this blog. But it's quite clear, it should be clear to you that having Asperger's syndrome or autism is not a barrier to employment. And if you are told that you have been unsuccessful with a job application because of your autism or Asperger's syndrome, then that is disability discrimination, and you can take the employer to a tribunal. Okay, I hope that you'll join me for my next video on Asperger's syndrome and autism, where I think I'll be talking more about this book. I've got to prepare some notes so that it's going to be coherent for you to follow. But thanks for joining me, and until next time, it's bye for now. Bye bye.